Hello traders, this is Rich Derrick from tradesight. This is the afternoon look at our scans for the market leading stocks for this coming session. This is going to be Thursday, March 28th, 2013. Got pretty one-sided scans today to the buy side. We're almost exclusively on the buy side here after opening very, very low with a gap down and essentially just walking up and recouping. It's been a lot of light volume situations. The overall market isn't trading a lot of volume, but there are some pockets of interest that I wanted to talk about. Got a volume bump here in Biogen that's strongly above the open, 4% above the open. Also have a volume bump here in Netflix, which had a really strong run up and kind of gave back. That's why there's no continuation signal here today for the Netflix. So Netflix did bang up against that overhead that has tried a couple of times, but was rejected. So definitely keep an eye on that. Perhaps making a turn tomorrow. Also want to point out Baidu that we took long today. Didn't take it early enough. Wound up taking it a little bit later after the pattern developed a little bit more, but have a small profit in that right now. But that is nicely above the open, full 3% above the open. Onto the financials again, very similar, pretty much one-sided to the buy side, but mostly on light volume. There's no real volume bumps from the financial sector. Looking at the energy names, ACI is pretty strong, probably the strongest one above the open. That's very, very volatile, low price stock. Also RIG, strongly above the open, about 3% above the open. So might want to put that on the list, on the watch list for tomorrow. Generals are a little bit more mixed than the rest of the stock universe, especially compared to the NASDAQ leaders. We're a couple of buys, a couple of sells. We do have good volume here today in VMware. That one's pretty strong, 1.5% above the open, and also really, really strong volume in UNH. A lot of the other kind of defensive type healthcare names are pretty strong today. So definitely keep your eyes open for those tomorrow. Best Buy may be setting up to make a turn here. We had a short call on that, but it didn't trigger. The trigger's a little bit lower, so keep an eye on Best Buy tomorrow. Right now we do have a CPS condition, and it is one of the few stocks that's below the open right now, or 0.5% below the open. Onto the housing names, a little bit mixed here, very, very light volume, so take these signals, kind of with a grain of salt. The transport's a little bit better volume for the most part here. A couple of buys, couple of sells, but not really leaning as hard to the buy side as the NASDAQ sector. And the commodity names are basically just paired off. Good volume today in ACH. Coal names are definitely on the move today. Good volume again today in Monsanto. That's about 2% above the open. A lot of these names are feeling pretty good here with some good turns. We did take a long today in the GDX. Nice call fairly early over the initial opening range high. That's still in the money and working for us. And as you can see from the chart here, a lot of the gold stocks are closing strongly. Double G is, as you can see, about 2.5% above the open. So see if we get some follow through for tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised to see a measuring day and then maybe another day where they come on, maybe Friday. So don't get lulled to sleep just if they don't do too much tomorrow. Definitely keep the precious metals names on the watch list for Friday. All right, folks. As always, thanks for listening. This has been Rich Derrick for tradesight.